Good afternoon, Speed Gaming fans. Good afternoon, Super Metroid fans. We are here at long last. It is the grand finals of the 2024 Speed Gaming Live Super Metroid Any Percent Tournament. This is it, folks. It's the moment that we have been waiting for. The final two, perhaps the most consistent two runners, the strongest perhaps arguments could be made within this entire tournament. It is here, it is time. ShinyZeni on your left, Oats on your right, the world record holder, the number 4 overall. Two incredible runners waiting to duke it out in what could be as many as 4 races. This is game 1. I am Professor School, and I am joined live in the commentary booth by none other than Sloters27. Sloters, good morning. How are you feeling this morning about this incredible matchup?
Good morning, Prof. I am feeling really excited. As you mentioned, these are two of the best that we have. These two have a bit of history, both in this tournament and the previous SGLIVE Any Percent tournament we had. So it's super exciting to watch them face off again in the grand finals here.
Yeah, this is going to be an epic matchup. We're guaranteed at least 2 races today, as you and I were talking about in the green room. Oats, by way of winning through the top bracket, does have that sort of pseudo 1-game advantage in that if he wins this best of 3, whether it's in 2 or 3 games, he will be crowned the grand champion of this year's tournament. Zeni, a little bit of a harder road. Only 1 loss in this tournament, and it's actually to Oats in a straight-up 1v1 matchup, a single game. Oats got the better of Zeni in that one, so Zeni going to have to, quote-unquote, knock Oats out, and then they'll have a bracket reset if Zeni is able to do that, right? So that's the format. Best out of 3. If Zeni wins, he forces that single game, that single decisive game. I don't know, what do you think? This is... it's obviously a little bit of a harder task for Zeni. I think he can pull it off. I'd be curious to get your input.
Yeah, I definitely think he can pull it off, and I'm kind of pulling for him, honestly, because I would love to see more Super Metroid today. So if we can get 3 games here and then the final sudden death game, I think we're having a lot of great Super Metroid to watch today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're off series station. A little recap of the tournament so far. Zeni and Oats coming in as the number 2 and 3 seed overall. That's, of course, based on those initial qualifying times. Zeni roasting through the competition early on, taking out Karst and Timon and Scotty Crow. Meanwhile, Oats and Goats had his 3 wins, P-Toil, Tablespoon, and then a tight race against Emmett before the 2 of them came head-to-head in one of our 2 semifinals. And our other 2 semifinalists no longer here. Zosti and Ruya, very strong runners, were respectively knocked out by these 2. So Oats and Zeni have obviously earned their way into this position, and it's just a matter of which of these 2 Titan runners has the opportunity to claim the 2024 championship. We'll be here with you for the action all day long here on Speed Gaming 2. And at least for now, yeah, Sloters and I have the distinct honor of kicking off the commentary. So let's see, we're on Zebus now. I got that double down back from Zeni. Love to see it. And I'm a little bit of an advantage early on for Zeni, just by a hair.
Zeni falling into a pit there. That could be some potential time save for Oats, who does get through their pitless.
Yeah, it looked like just the timers are not quite synced up. We're about a second off in the timers. But it looked like a little bit of a rougher series there for Oats. All important question, what color do we get? Ooh, I don't know, yellow. Oh, double yellow. Okay, so this doesn't bode well for the runners, unfortunately. No, I'm just kidding, of course. Both of these runners known for their incredible early game. Zeni, of course, multiple-time bombs world record holder, you know, mid 4.3x, kind of a nutty pace. Pretty good pace here from both runners, and it looks like based on timer sync, they are maybe about a second and a half apart.
Yeah, I think they were about 2 seconds apart coming out of series, so that seems about right.
Yeah, I don't know. This is even with the potential for 4 matches, it almost seems unfair. The volatility of any percent, as you know, Sloters, can be so difficult. I mean, we can't expect these runners to race for 7 hours, but sometimes these, best of 1 or best of 3 series, if you have one bad race, one hiccup at moat that costs you a minute, it can be really, really punishing. You have a ton of experience yourself running any percent at a very high level. I'm just curious, what is your mentality going into these best of 1 or best of 3 races? You, of course, have the strength of being able to run both Fantune and Crate first very quickly, and I know that against some lower rated runners, you'll just run KPDR. Obviously, if you're facing a runner of this caliber, whether it's any or Oats, you have to run PRKD. You got to go all out, which we've seen both of these runners do in the past. What's your approach to a race like this when you're racing another top seeded runner?
Honestly, you really just have to not get in your head too much and just remember you're playing your own game right now. It's a one-off race. You're going to be making mistakes. You can't hit that reset button when something doesn't go your way. So it's important just to be ready with any backups you need, and to make sure your mental game does stay strong. Otherwise, as you said, if you're playing these best of 3s, potentially 3 or 4 games, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think so far in this tournament, I would have to give the edge slightly to Oats with respect to not only the consistency, obviously the performance having gone through here without a loss so far, including a 2-0 victory, very impressive and exciting matchup over Ruya. But one of the things that I've really noticed from Oats is just because of the world record grind, because of all of the practice that he's put in, as you point out, it's not just the primary strats, it's the backups. They're so fluid, they're so efficient, and his willingness on top of that to go for hard things, even in difficult high stress situations. I recall the match against Imit in particular, where Oats just went absolutely all out in that match. There was no gravity jump. He went 15-10. He went for the 3-jump baby skip. I mean, every single trick, even in moments where you're not sure if he needs to pull it out, and he goes for it and he nails them. I think the consistency has just been a little bit stronger for Oats, so a bit of an uphill climb, but Zeni obviously knocking on the door of 40 is one of the few people in this tournament who I think actually could take this off Oats today.
Yeah, I want to add too, it really is a skill, being able to perform in sort of these high stake runs, like tournament runs and like marathon runs like GDQs and stuff. And both these runners at this point have a lot of experience doing that kind of stuff. But you'll see, sometimes really high level runners, when they first start doing these tournaments, you kind of see like those jitters or those nerves coming through of like playing kind of in a different environment than just resetting runs all day going for PBs. So these two are definitely really seasoned, and I think it shows with how consistent they are in every single tournament race they play.
Yeah, truly every single one. They are granted a little bit of a cushion today, obviously, because of, at least for now, that best of 3 format doesn't spell disaster if you have one bad race. It does put you further behind the 8 ball, regardless of which runner you are. But yeah, we'll just have to see. We're going to have to hold on to our butts here, folks. We probably won't be using all of our seat, but we're going to be with you for the action all day long. We've got a great lineup of commentators as well. Zost and Mishrak and Hockey. We've got a huge list of folks ready to take you through the action. And just a reminder, we got a lot of it going on in the chat, but we do have that best of 3. Obviously, if Oats wins that best of 3, just to reiterate, that will be the Grand Championship winner. Zeni needs to win the best of 3 in order to force that single game bracket reset. And we're in sudden death if we get to game 4, that final game.
So now we're kind of past a lot of the early game where, there's places to lose time, but now we're kind of getting into the areas where there's some important tricks and some important boss fights coming up. One that's going to be coming up shortly is the moat, and being able to get across there first try with whatever method you're using is going to be really important. Otherwise, you're going to get a really nice time loss having to climb back up out of the water.
Yeah, we saw that really lovely Green Hills farm strat there from Zeni, trying to pick up some extra missiles en route to Fantoon. That's particularly helpful as he will be going for a 1 round here in this run. Oats on his end, pretty clean gameplay, had overtaken Zeni a couple small slip-ups just through this upper red tower section. We saw that Weave Morph Ball not go quite well, and just a little bit of a lag there on some of those wall jumps. And as a result, coming into Moat, Floaters, we are like dead even here. We've got timer sync finally. Thank you so much to the restream for that. And look at these runners. I mean, the transition of these doors is almost perfect. Oats gonna have to lose a little bit of time. I like the farm there, trying to pick up that extra power bomb. It does allow Zeni to retake the lead entering this pivotal moment. Oh no, and Zeni falls into the moat, but he's on the left side. It's okay. A left side fall is not as punishing. It does look he has the backup for the CWJ. Yes, okay, wow.
Very nice.
Holy smokes. So Zeni overrunning the platform, missing that 1 frame wall, continuous wall jump setup, but saved himself just on the left side of that moat, got the in-room backup. Boy, howdy did he set that up so quickly too. Oats then having to horizontal bomb jump, and as a result, Oats just 1 room ahead. And boy, Floaters, don't you love to see it? Chat, don't you love to see it? Oats and Zeni both passed that huge hurdle and into Fantoon. So this is not going to be some sort of, dragging your feet through the waters of Moat. We are both at Fantoon. It's just the skill of these 2 runners and the mettle of pushing them through 1v1. Let's go.
Yep, now into Fantoon. We're going to see RNG play a big role in this fight. And also just their execution. Are they going to play it safe, going for a 2 round for more consistency, or are they going to be going for those 1 rounds?
Okay, no fast for Oats. What has Zeni got here? No fast. Good missile count for both. Health is decent for both.
Who doesn't quite get a lot in on that first round.
Was going for a pretty big Doppler there, it seemed like. Okay, and here's the 1 round attempt from Zeni. Oh, that looked so good to start. I couldn't tell if that was 6 or 7. Oh, and Oats trying to clean up. His first Doppler was really low. He needed, I think, maybe 9 missiles, 8 missiles on that Doppler. He needed a really big one, just couldn't quite get it in. Zeni should be able to clean up. He had a pretty good Doppler despite not getting the 1 round.
Okay.
Wow, okay. Oh boy. And let's see, 11:22 exiting, so Oats just cleaning things up a little bit faster is going to gain a little bit of time on Zeni here. Boy, howdy. That was close for Oats, though. That could have spelled disaster. If that first super came out, it could have been an enrage. That could have been a very, very large time loss.
Okay, and Zeni coming out of the fight with 132 energy, which is a little low, but as long as he gets some decent drops, it shouldn't be a problem.
Now let's check the rest of the resources. Oats in really good shape here. 12, 10, 4 full health. 8, 10, 4 for Zeni. So at least they have those full supers coming out of left side supers. That's always nice.
Yeah, supers are going to be very important throughout the course of the run, both to be able to open doors quickly and for both the Ridley fight and Mother Brain fight. It's going to be important to keep a high super count through various parts of the run.
Yeah, and to that point exactly, and your previous one, Floaters, on health, Zeni opting to actually burn one of his supers to farm the atomic there in that that main shaft of wrecked ship and get 20 extra health. Specifically what you were mentioning, just a little bit worried maybe about his health, making sure that he has that extra and not relying entirely on the RNG of what you might get through these next few rooms here.
Okay. Nice. Oats making it through the bowling room without taking any extra hits, so he'll be at a comfortable 69 energy, picking up his gravity suit. Zeni getting up to 182, so he could take 3 hits if he really needed it, but he'll just take 2.
And it does look like we are going to be about 15 seconds apart for these two runners with their grab touch times. Pretty excellent touch times for both. Obviously, the grab touch world record is low 13.0x. I'm waiting for the day that we see some nutty one-round kill with a 12:59 or something like that. But still mid 13 grab times, just about mid to high 13 grab touch times for both runners. Really solid stuff here. And if you're trying to shake off the nerves of this sort of a first race, and you're getting a mid 13x or so, I think you've got to be pretty happy with that if you're both runners.
Absolutely. So again, talking about ammo, Oats coming out of here full on supers. That's really great. Zeni only having 8 right now. He could potentially farm some of the cack attacks in Red Tower. That will cost a little bit of time, but maybe save a little bit time farming with the RNG component there. So we'll see how Zeni approaches it. I'm not sure how conservative he plays it with his supers at this point in the run.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so yeah, Oats farming up health there from that cack. Had taken the hit from one of the crabs and wanted to make sure that the health was a little bit better there. And that just about, that'll give Zeni just a little bit more time to catch up, getting through that section just a little bit cleaner. And on 8, Zeni will never farm supers there, so just going straight through and saving that, whatever it is, second and a half. Meanwhile, I'll be very curious to see. My suspicion is that Oats, who has done this several times now throughout this tournament, will continue to run 15:10, and Zeni, who has, if anything, been a 25:10 runner at a certain point, who was preparing for the GDQ marathon and has some insane low 60s kill times with the extra missiles that he could put to good use against Ridley. I expect that Zeni, as with the most of the tournament, will continue to run 20:10. So that will probably give Oats about that 5.5 second or so advantage, at least early on. But of course, those extra missiles in a lot of places can be really, really useful. What's your philosophy on that? I can't remember. Sloters, did you ever run 15:10, or were you always sort of a 20:10 person?
No, I've always done 2010. Personally, I'm not at the upper echelon like these two, so I'm not really gunning for world record times, but I like how comfy 20 and 10 is, and I also love having the extra missiles on the Ridley fight. I find them to be really useful, so I'm a big fan of 2010 or even 2510 if you're like Zeni.
Yeah, I think it can be really hard to gauge just how much, right? I mean, pure time save, you're running through that wave missile pack or you're not, it's 5.5 seconds, right? It's roughly the fanfare. In fact, avoiding that item is somewhat costly in time, so you don't really see the full amount of that time save. It's harder to really estimate, at least for me, the full extent to which those 5 extra missiles can save you. Now, obviously, if you just get hecked on drops, 29 versus 15:9 is the difference between life and death in this game when you're in Tirion after Metroid Room 4. But there's a lot of other places, right? I mean, on Ridley, you can get a little bit of extra time depending on how you use your missiles and what your resources are. There's a couple places where you can do some extra farms with those missiles. There's definitely some places where they can save you back some of the time that you lost. So hard to say exactly, but maybe Oats will gain a few seconds here, assuming no Metroid drops issues in Turian.
All right, coming out of Ice Beam now, a kind of important mock ball here for the runners to get. Oats is going to freeze these enemies here to use as platforms, and looks like he got a clean mock ball through. We'll see if Zeni can get that as well. It's not the most difficult trick, but if you do miss it, you have to take a much slower path through the room, and that looks good too from Zeni.
All right, Sloters, well, we got through Moat and the rest of Fantoon and Wrecked Ship. Had pretty nice grab touch times. We got a big trick coming up. What's going on with Lava Dive here? When you're in these races, are you ever switching to grab jump, or in these big high stakes races it's just too costly to not go for that much faster strat?
Personally, I always love just going for Lava Spark. I just think it's really cool, and I like doing it. There's always risk in missing it, and missing in particularly bad ways where you're taking more damage. So I say you got to send it. It's the grand finals. We got to see it.
Welcome, Raiders, coming in from Speedrunners Arena. This is your 2024 Grand Finals, Super Metro at any percent. We're in the first game of a game of 3 here, coming out of the top bracket. Oats needs to win to get that championship. Zeni needs to win to force a bracket reset. We've got, just a little bit of a hiccup there. Really unusual. Was that only 4 missiles that Zeni had, or did something happen to that 5th missile? I think... Did he just miscount his missiles? What happened there?
Yeah, I didn't really catch that. I think he might have only shot 4. But yeah, he looked surprised as well when it happened.
Yeah, and ended on 0, right? So kind of unfortunate. Oats had lost back potentially some time, was going for that very fast right side bubble mountain strat. Zeni goes for a different strat in that room and needed to back that up, which Oats did pretty cleanly. Oh, very interesting. Okay, so I don't know if Oats is watching the restream or if this was an intentional decision on his part. We'll have to remember this for whenever interviews happen after the final race. Oats running 2010 here, so wanting a little bit more comfort and safety. He has run 1510 at some points in this tournament, but either because watching the restream and seeing the slight advantage or having made a decision ahead of time for the additional safety, we will get 2010 from both runners. So a little bit of a less likely chance that we'll have someone hecked by a Metroid Room 4 drops, and then Oats is not going to see any of that sort of immediate benefit of skipping wave missiles.
Yep. Now let's watch Oats real quick. He's going to be coming up to the lava dive. If you haven't seen the trick before, he's going to pull off a short charge going into the lava room, do a D boost off of a Namahe fireball, and then spark at the very edge of the room right before his shine spark timer runs out. So short charge looks good. We'll see if he can get the charge and the D boost. Beautiful.
Nice. Zeni coming up on that trick himself. You'll see Oats now is going to be pausing on the elevator to set himself up for X Factor Ridley's. Zeni had done that earlier in order to be able to use Wave to farm those multi-violas there. Now for his lava dive setup. Okay, a little bit of a hiccup on his stream. I wasn't sure. Oh boy, had us in sort of rapt anticipation, but he made it through, and 2050 elevator touch time. So still just a room and a half or so behind Oats, maintaining that roughly 15-second lead or so. And both runners safely in to lower Norfair, this very challenging section of the run.
Yeah, all the strats here are not easy, and all the enemies do pretty much 40 or 50 damage every time you touch them, or their projectiles. So it's really important to avoid hits where you can. Energy is a resource just like your ammunition. You can use it to speed up the Ridley fight if you're going to run into tails and stuff like that. So a lot of these strategies are made to conserve on getting hit and to conserve on those resources.
Yeah, okay, so Zeni almost bonking the door there. That would have been very, very bad entering Amphitheater here through that bonk. You really need that forward run momentum. Having to turn around, just costing himself 60 to 90 frames, resetting that, and has to be just a little bit more careful than Oats. One fewer hit to give on only, what is this, 111 health right now. All right, let's go for this wasteland manipulation. Oats trying to get this so he can get that high hop from that first hopper. Very, very nicely done. And the beautiful, the double KO, not quite there, but getting the majority of the time saved from that first one. Let's see if Zeni can make up a little bit of time hitting that double KO.
All right, Oats already full on supers. And yeah, he's going to come out of here with really nice drops. Zeni not getting that double KO. We'll see if he can get full on drops. Coming in with 2 less supers than Oats did, so he'll need a little bit more from the Pirates.
All right, Oats going to get a super drop here. Let's see. Yep, so full on for Oats here. 12, 10, 5, 225. Beautiful resources. Zeni not quite getting the supers, trying to farm a few extra in that Plower House room. All right, here's the 4x X Factor. First one looks pretty good. No, it does not like the setup, so Oats is going to switch immediately to the beam fight there. Might be an opportunity for Zeni to save a little bit of time, but Only 8 supers entering. Oats was full on 10, so that will more or less balance each other out. Looks pretty good for Zeni on the second one. Is going to go for the full 4 here. Let's see.
Very nice.
Yeah, that Powerhouse farm for underneath is a really nice one that Zeni has been using quite a bit. I've seen a couple of the top runners do it. It didn't quite work out for him as far as the drops, and we'll just have to see what that gap is going to be. Zeni having that beautiful 4 X Factor setup. Oats needing to bail after just the 1, but again, having 2 more supers. So let's see how their efficiency is in their charge here. Wow, a very long time from pickup to explosion, unfortunately, from Oats. Let's see Zeni a little bit faster. No, kind of also a longer one, but they're much closer. The gap is less than 10 seconds now. Oh my goodness. Good health drops for Oats. Zeni is already in pretty good health shape at 124. And the drops are really, really good for both runners. Wow, 4 supers for Zeni, a little bit better. Both of them with very good health. I mean, holy smokes. Chat, Sloters, we were close to 20 seconds at one point. Zeni has been chipping away, and we are within, oh boy, about 8 or 9 seconds with pretty good resources for both to survive this LN, and incredible paces right here for a race as well. Like, still on 41 paces for both runners. This is unbelievable, Sloters.
Yeah, this is really cool to see. There's still a lot of game left, a lot of really technical areas like Meridia, so this is far from over. Okay, coming into these lower Norfair escape rooms, the Key Hunter shaft, Oats doing a nice manip, not getting any hits from the Key Hunters. Zeni looks like he set his up nicely as well, so both of them are going to have a really comfy 3 hits max allowed in 3 Musketeers. So I don't expect them to have any problems.
Yeah, in fact, I'm not sure about Oats, but I would expect at least Zeni here will be going for that faster boost strat with this kind of health on that first pirate. Oats having the slightly more consistent setup, not taking any damage. Maybe another chance for Zeni. Oh, doesn't get the D-boost, unfortunately, but has the extra hit to spare. Wow, okay. I mean, this is just an absolute nail-biter of a race right now. We are out of LN. Some of the huge early hurdles are gone. Nice boost ball there from Oats. Coming through this door and entering Bubble Mountain. King Cat kill at 26 flat. Let's check it for Zeni. We are just a few seconds back. 5 to 6 seconds right now, folks. Game 1 of a best-of-3 series. ShinyZeni trying to force a bracket reset is absolutely breathing down Oats and Goats' neck right now. The number 4 in the world, trying to get some pressure on the world record holder. This is about as much pressure as we've seen Oats be under the entire tournament, all the way into Warehouse right now, and Zeni just a few seconds behind. Folks, hold on to your butts. Oh, and I love that little optimization, that little mock ball into the downward super, saving a little bit of time. Whoa, and Zeni's even cleaner.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
Wow.
That is really hard to do.
It didn't even look like he hit jump for that mock ball, Sloters. That was incredible.
That's why these two are in the grand finals, because they can do stuff like that.
Good super counts for both. A little bit lower health for Zeni. We'll have to see if that manifests in any meaningful way after Kraid drops in Mini Kraid. Nice little lag reduction here from Oats. Zeni would be doing the same, I expect. Yep, and then additional lag reduction, trying to only have stamina speed drawn on the screen every other frame. That's that intentional jump into the spikes there. 10-5, it's okay for Oats. You'd kind of like to be at 6 here to be at 10 from Mini Kraid. Zeni having a little hiccup leaving that room, losing just a little bit of time, but just still within that about 5.5 seconds or so of that item fanfare. Slightly better super count for Zeni, slightly better health for Oats. 165, we're going to get a couple drops from those Zeelas exiting Warehouse, so let's see what they drop Zeni. in some bad health situations, you might actually want to switch from sparking Everest to actually just doing the slower backup strat with the pseudo screw. I suspect Zeni will be okay here, but okay, so Oats doing pretty well here on health, getting the extra super as well, in good shape. 181, yeah, so Zeni should be totally fine here.
Okay, now some big things in Meridia. We have the Batoon fight, we have full halfy, and also the Dragon fight. So some important execution, as well as managing those boss fights and using your resources efficiently there. So as we mentioned, their resources are pretty good. They'll have plenty of supers for Batoon, so long as they can nail the X factors, and we'll see how they handle the rest of this really technical section.
All right, coming into Batoon, Oats did save Disaster coming through Fish Tank. Had a very nice wiggle to avoid losing a ton of time in that section. Meanwhile, he's setting up the standard D-Factor setup. You're going to see Zeni do something a little different, closer to what Azul had been doing. Oh, okay. All right, that's all right. Oats managing to get in there without an issue, finish off Batoon. You see Zeni use that morph on the floor, and wow, he smoked Batoon, Sloters. That's incredible. What a time save for Zeni.
Yeah, he continues to chip away at Oats' lead.
Now
And
within
both
the item
got
fanfare. Yeah, they did. Double Yahtzee. Shout out Hockey Towner. You can come in here and call it in the next race, my man. All right, huge trick here. Full halfy. It's pretty routine for most of these top level runners, but always does pose the risk of an issue. Oats getting through cleanly despite what looked like a slightly suboptimal ledge grab. Zeni nicely done. Shave and a haircut, getting close to that top ceiling. We are here to one of the big stress points in the later half of this route. This Dragon fight. We'll see. I think Oats does the older Rain Dance setup, whereas Zeni is going to be using, again, something that I believe Azul had developed for this Meridia section, which is going to be a slightly different setup here. You're going to see Oats do this left to right Rain Dance, whereas Zeni is going to be turning and setting up a different kind. He's going to be waiting for these Evers to go off screen, and both of them going to be trying to knock out Dragon at almost exactly the same time. Beautiful setup for Oats. You see that nice dark belly color. Zeni inching forward, getting a nice belly color. Also, it should be good for both runners. Okay. Decent pattern. Nicely handled for Zeni. Oh wait, was that Yikes frame?
I think so.
Wow, this might be Zeni overtaking Oats here. Both runners staying for drops. Zeni getting much better drops as far as health, but 2 supers behind. Holy smokes, get ready to get a lead change here. Oh, and no. Oats missing the first boost. There it is. For the first time since Series Station, Zeni has retaken the lead. Oh no, that's okay. Cleaning up a little bit there. Zeni was a little too far forward, needed to make sure that he got blue before re-entering this Batoon hallway. And just like that, and holding on to it, at least for now, we are on pace for Zeni to potentially have the lead for this race going into G4. Unbelievable. I'd have to go back and look at the races, but I can't think of the last time that Oats was losing in a race this late. Oh, beautiful one-tile gap maneuver there from Zeni with the charge strat. What an incredibly fast strat. Oats going for something slightly easier and just a little bit slower. Zeni getting through that big jump. Oats also no problem. Oh my goodness, Sloters, can you believe this? What a race! And they're both on such incredible paces still. This is unbelievable.
And Oats getting some more supers there, so he'll have 6 going past the ship. Definitely in a lot better shape than Zeni, but 3 certainly nothing to scoff at. So as long as the Metroids are nice, I expect both of them to have good ammo.
Yeah, we'll probably be down to 2, which is, gosh, at least for me. I mean, I'm only trying to get 42, 43s, but I'm willing to take a little bit of a time loss. I wonder here, do you ever missile this door? Probably not, right? If you're Zeni, you probably just go down to 2 supers here.
Yeah, maybe if you have 1 super, you might consider it, but yeah, I don't think people normally do that.
Oh no, and Oats not getting that blue bounce ball. A little bit of an extra time loss again. So Zeni gonna have a good solid lead here. Obviously more or less than a baby skip. Let's check the door entry time. 3-3-3-3 straight across the board for Zeni. It's gonna be just about 10 seconds difference for these 2 runners. Yeah, almost exactly 10 seconds. You see Zeni looking off to his right, getting a drink, probably checking the restream. I'm assuming Oats is doing the same. Health is good for both runners. Missile's good. Those 3 extra supers, though, we'll just have to see. As long as Zeni doesn't get hacked by drops here, he does have the benefit of that 2010, as does Oats. Folks, this is what we wanted. Best of 3. Oats, the world record holder, the top seed, or the second seed coming into this matchup, needing simply to win 2 games to win the Grand Championship. Zeni knowing that he needs to win 2 of these next 3 races to force a bracket reset. And he has done everything to claw back from a near 20-second deficit at the start of Lower Norfair, and has managed to put himself ahead of Oats, the world record holder. Folks, hold on to your butts. Here comes Tirion.
All right, Zeni coming into room 1. Already get some supers off the first Metroid. And we'll have to bomb off and get some good drops off the next set. So pretty good going into room 2.
That was great.
Oats,
really nice drops.
good. Oats didn't get grabbed, so he doesn't have to bomb him off. Also has the same super count going into room 2.
Wow, and already 8 entering room 3 for Zeni. Okay, so the RNG is not going to be an issue here for Zeni. Beautiful execution and lovely drops. Oats somehow
surprisingly not getting a lot of supers here.
And you can see him reacting on camera. What? He's saying, having to missile here again. And there it is.
And
okay.
The 20 still saves him. He's good.
The wave missile saves him. Are you kidding? Those were insane drops for Zeni. He had so many more supers that he needed midway through room 3. All right, so Zeni up by about 15 seconds here, but baby skip stands in the way. Bomb spread, baby skip, clockwise for Zeni. It's the Stashio skip setup. Okay, it looks like he's through. Does Oats go for the 3 jump here? He does, and I think he's through. So about a second time save there for Oats. Can you believe this, Sloaters? What a race!
This is really going to come down to execution on the Mother Brain fight and escape.
Beautiful Zeb skip for Zeni. Oats just a little bit of a hiccup there.
Okay, does get the backup.
Oh my goodness, folks. What do their nerves must feel like at this moment? 36-43, head down. Mother Brain head down for Zeni. Let's see the difference here. It looks like it's a little over 10 seconds still. 11 seconds right now. Zeni just needs to execute. But my goodness, can you imagine what that heart rate monitor reads right now? Good health for both. Nice middle bomb hit, central bomb hit, so no damage taken there from Zeni. No harm, no foul.
Well, Zeni missing a shot.
Pretty well-behaved Mother Brains from both so far. Ooh, nice dodge for Oats, going under the Onion Ring barrage there. Couple missed shots for Oats as well. A few for Zeni. Not the cleanest fights for either runner, but pretty good. Oh boy, where's that catch-up phase coming? Always makes me nervous when Mother Brain just stands there for a few seconds doing nothing. Like, what's coming next? Okay, Zeni gets under the first catch-up. That's huge. He didn't get surprised by some quick catch-up barrage. He should be able to settle into a pattern here. Another missed shot for Oats. Another dodge for Oats. Is that it? Is Zeni through? Zeni is through. Mother Brain's head coming forward, 38.05. Oats still waiting.
Yeah, I think Zeni might have saved a little bit of time on the fight.
Boy, I'm not sure about the end of that fight. I lost count for what Oats was doing. How can you keep count when you've got two Mother Brains at the same time? I think that last shot for Mother Brain may have been late. It may have been a little late for Oats, and he may have lost some time from that final catch-up. Right now, this is Zeni's race to lose. Execute, and he has a huge advantage moving towards forcing that bracket reset. Folks, that is what Zeni is looking for. The number 4 overall seed in the world, the number 4 ranked overall in the world based on any percent time, the number 3 seed in this tournament. But Zeni has secured the fastest time so far in this tournament with a 41.1x. No one has been better than Zeni than he was in his last race when he knocked Meridia out. And Zeni is showing it once again here. This is going to be an incredible finish, and 41s for both runners. Can you believe this, Sloaters? What a race, a back and forth affair. Zeni having the very early lead in series, losing the lead, and now clawing all the way back. About 30 seconds. He was down 20, he's up 10. Sloaters, he's almost on the verge of knowing that at least there will be a game 3. At least.
Yeah, this is an incredible start to this series, and I hope all the following races are going to live up to this one. This is great. Zeni into Mother Brain 3. Pretty trivial fight. Looks like he's handling it well. Oats will be starting his shortly. Pretty much right as Zeni's finishing up his.
Yeah, just the slightest hiccup for Zeni with some of those unfortunate onion ring barrages bouncing him back from the cleanest of fights. Oats is looking pretty good here on this fight. Probably will net a slight time save here. Yeah, that was definitely a cleaner fight for Oats, so making up just a little bit of this time here. 40-24, can you believe this time? This will not be the best time of the tournament. Zeni will keep that distinction for himself either way. Looking like maybe a 2x finish here for Zeni if he can execute through this escape. Oh my goodness, wow. Yeah, still a double-digit lead for Zeni, so he does have cushion here. It is not over yet until Samus is on the ship, but Zeni executing everywhere. Beautiful moonfall, just getting to the edge of that platform. No pixels wasted. Here comes that behemoth spark, that diagonal spark across climb. Nicely done, no issues there for Zeni. He's almost home free, folks. I think this is it. I think this is the first loss handed out to Oats in this tournament so far, and it's payback from Zeni, who was knocked out of the winner's bracket by Oats. Folks, get your GGs in chat. Get ready for Game 2 and Game 3, finishing in first place in this race with a time of 41:29, and just 20 seconds behind him, it looks like. Zeni finishing first, Oats finishing second. We have an absolute barn burner on our hands, and there's the finish for Oats, 20 seconds behind. GG's to Zeni. We know we were going to have a Game 2, but now we know that we will have at least a Game 3. If Oats manages to win, we'll win the Grand Championship. Zeni that much closer, though, Sloaters, to forcing a bracket reset and a sudden death Game 4. I don't know what to say. Sloaters, 2 41s, double 41s in races, and a 41-2x for Zeni, who now has 2 of maybe the best times in this whole tournament. Like, what more could we ask for from this incredible race?
We love to see it, Prof. 2 41s at the start of the series, at least 2 more games that we get to see. This is the Super Metroid content we came here for today, and I'm very excited to watch how the rest of this unfolds. GG's to both the runners. Congrats to Zeni on winning Game 1 here. Hold on to your butts, folks.
There it is. Could not agree any better. Could not say it any better myself. Oh my goodness, Sloaters, I need to take a deep breath. That was, what a race to call. I mean, the back and forth affair, the come from behind win from Zeni. It doesn't really get any better than this, and now we just have to wait. These runners are queuing themselves up for game 2. It's been a pleasure taking you through the action. Just a few minutes, and we're going to fire up that second race. Kip and the Hockey Towner, another incredible duo, going to be taking you through that one. So we're going to leave you in their comforting hands and with their soothing voices, both of them. Sloters, anything else? It's been a joy commentating with you. Thank you so much for joining me in the booth today.
Likewise, Prof. It's been a lot of fun. It's always fun doing commentary with you. But yeah, everyone just stick around and watch the rest of these amazing races that we're going to have from these 2 amazing runners. Yeah, we will see you shortly.
All right, folks, there you go. Game 2 coming up. Zeni versus Oats in a best of 3. Kip and Hockey Towner to take you through the action. We will see you on the other side in just a few minutes.